fortunate to have His Grace Ram Shraddha Prabhu from Mayapur, India, and Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 9th chapter, verse number 51 and onwards. So, Hare Krishna, Ram Shraddha Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Welcome to the call. Please take all the call now. Hare Krishna.
All glory to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glory to Sri Prabhupada. You can repeat these prayers after me if you have a book there. Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Utapati Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatum Sagana Raghunathanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Dahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Om Ajnanitimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nam Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadesa Namam Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatme Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Namane Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namane Sivartanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabde Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurojjala Premadhya Sri Rupanuga Bhakti Dasi Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harini Panchakalpataru Vyasa Kripa Sindhu Vichapati Tanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namah Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaitam Surato Pangor Mamamandamater Gati Matsarvasya Padambojo Shishi Radha Madanamohanu Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpat Drumada Srimad Ratnangara Simhasanasto Shri Radha Srila Govinda Devo Kristali Visevya Mano Smarami Sriman Rasarasaram Vivam Sivata Tatastita Karshan Venu Swanar Gopi Gopinath Shri Stama Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaye Kirtita Bhakti Bhagavate Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarvakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Bhaktya Vihina Paradalakshay Shiptasya Kamadi Taranga Madhye Kripamayi Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Govinda बोलो सब लोग बोलिए हरे कृष्णा
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna, Krishna
हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare Hare.
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Hare.
हरे कृष्णा
Krishna, Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Krishna
कृष्ण हरे
Hare
हरे
Hare,
हरे राम
Hare
राम
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram Hare
हरे कृष्णा
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare
बोलो श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील
Ki
Ki
प्रभुपाद
Jai
की जय राधा रमन
Jai.
गिरिराज गिरी गोवर्धन की जय
Jai.
ग्रंथनाथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय
Ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai
देव की जय हो
Jai.
श्रील प्रभुपाद
Ki
ट्रांसलेशन
Ki
ऑफ
Jai
जय हो Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol
So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 51, but we'll just go one time through the previous verse, Text 50. Tatte arhatama namastuti karma puja karma smriti charanayo shravanam kathayam samsevaya pai vineti sadang angaya kim Bhaktim Jana Paramahamsa Tato Labeta. Translation. Therefore, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, the best of all the persons to whom prayers are offered, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you, because without rendering the 6 kinds of devotion service unto you, offering prayers, dedicating all the results of the activities, worshipping you, working on your behalf, always remembering your lotus feet, and hearing about your glories, who can achieve that which is meant for the Paramahamsas? So it's a nice short purport. I will also read that one. The Vedas enjoin Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhyo Namedayana Bahuna Shrutena. One cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by studying the Vedas and offering prayers. Only by the grace of the Supreme Lord can one understand Him. The process of understanding the Lord, therefore, is bhakti. Without bhakti, simply following the Vedic injunctions to understand the absolute truth will not be helpful to all. Will not be helpful at all. The process of bhakti is understood by the Paramahamsas, one who has accepted the essence of everything. The results of bhakti are reserved for such Paramahamsas, and this stage results of bhakti. This stage cannot be obtained by any Vedic process other than devotional service. Other processes such as Jnana and Yoga can be successful only when mixed with Bhakti. When we speak of Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga, the word Yoga indicates Bhakti. Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, executed with intelligence and full knowledge, is the only successful method for going back home, back to God. If one wants to be liberated from the pangs of material existence, he should take to the devotional service for quick attainment of the goal. Wonderful words, wonderful commentary by Prabhupada. Now we are coming to today's verse. So everybody has the books there. We can chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bolo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayan Namaskritya.
Naranchaiva Narotamam
Naram Chaiva
Jayam Narottam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udirayet.
Tato Jayamudirayam.
Please repeat the translation after me. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, everybody,
Before reciting,
Srimad Bhagavatam,
which is the very means of conquest,
which is very
The
of
means of
accomplishment,
one should offer respectful obeisance unto the personality of Godhead Narayan.
one should obtain the obeisances to the personality of Godhead, Narayan,
Narayan. Unto Naranarayan Rishi, the supermost human being.
and to Narayan Rishi,
The supermost human being.
the supermost human being,
Unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning.
and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge,
And Srila Vyasadeva, the author.
and Srila Vyasadeva,
The author.
the author.
Now we'll read the next verse. Shinvatam Swakata Krishna. Everybody.
Shinvatam Satatam Krishna,
Punya Shravana Kirtanaha.
Punyam Sharanam
Kirtanaha,
Triti Antasto hi Avadrani.
Tritiyas Stoti Adbhadrani,
Vidunoti Suhrat Satam.
Vidurnoti Sudusaha.
Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Repeat.
Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, being
Who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart.
who is the Paramatma, the super soul in everyone's
in
heart,
every heart,
And the benefactor of the truthful devotee.
the
and the
benefactor
benefactor of truthful devotee,
Cleanses desire for material enjoyment.
cleanses desire of material enjoyment
From the heart of the devotee.
from the heart of the devotee,
Who has developed the urge to hear his messages.
who has
has
the
urge to hear his
his
message,
message,
Which are in themselves virtuous.
4 index of virtues.
When properly heard and chanted,
And properly
heard and chanted.
chanted.
Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu, everybody.
Nishtaprayasha bhadreshu.
Nityam bhagavata sevaya.
Nityam
Nitya
bhakti
Bhaktam Sevya.
Bhagavati uttama shloke.
Bhagavati
Uttam Shloke.
Bhaktir bhavati naistiki.
Bhakti
Bhakti Nashti.
By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam,
By regular attendance the class in the Bhagavatam,
and by rendering a service to the pure devotee,
and by rendering the service of pure devotee,
all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed.
all the disturbance in the heart
is completely
destroyed.
And loving service unto the personality of Godhead,
And loving service unto the
Personality of God.
who is praised with transcendental songs,
who is pleased with his transcendental song,
is established as an irrevocable fact.
is established as an irrevocable fact.
Jai. So now we are coming to our verse. Text 51, if you have all the books before in front of you, you repeat after me. Sri Narada Vacha
Shri Narada
Vacha.
Etavad
Etava
Varnita
Varnita
Guno
Guno
Etavad Varnita Guno
Etavat Varnita Guno
Bhaktya
Bhaktya
Bhaktena
Bhaktena
Nirgunaha
Nirgunaha
Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha
Bhaktya Bhaktena Nirgunaha
Prahradam
Prahladam
Pranatam
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 Prito
Rito
Praradam Pranatam Prito
Prahladam Pranatam Prito
Yata
Yatam
Manyur
Manyur
Avashrita
Abhashata
Yata Manyur Avasata.
Yata Manyur Abhashata.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great Saint Narada said, please repeat.
The great Saint Narada said,
Thus Lord Narasimha Dev was
Thus-
pacified
Thus Lord Narasimhadev
was pacified
by the devotee Prahlad Maharaj,
by the devotee Prahlad Maharaj
with prayers offered from the transcendental platform.
with prayers offered from the transcendental platform.
The Lord gave up his anger
The Lord gave us his anger
and being very kind to Prahlad,
in being very kind to Prahlad,
who was offering prostrated obeisances,
who was offering prostrated obeisances.
he spoke as follows.
He spoke as follows.
Purport. The word Nirguna is important. The Mayavadi philosophers accept the absolute truth as Nirguna or Nirakar. The word Nirguna refers to the one who possesses no material qualities. The Lord, being full of spiritual qualities, gave up all his anger and spoke to Prahlad Maharaj. Very nice verse, short verse and short purport, but quite some deep meaning is there. First of all, in the previous verse already it was mentioned that these 9 types of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sahakyam, Atmanivedam, must be offered almost on a daily basis to attain the stage of Paramahamsas. This is what Paramahamsas do. Hamsa is swan. Paramahamsa means supreme state of realization. Paramahamsas. Param. Because the Hamsas, are already devotees, but Paramahamsa means one who has attained to the personal form of the Lord, that is Satchit Ananda. Here it is used as Nirguna. Guna means modes of material nature. Nirguna means no modes of material nature. But some or other Mayavadis, they have a peculiar intelligence because they want to forget Krishna, so Krishna gives them that intelligence. Nirguna, according to them, means no qualities. Literally, if you translate, it sounds okay. Nir means no, guna means qualities. But actually, guna refers to three modes of nature, no material qualities. That means he has what? He has spiritual qualities. Otherwise, why would anybody take trouble to meditate on the Supreme Lord? If you can meditate on anybody with gunas, then it's as good as doing something transcendental. We think so, like that. So Mayavadis, they meditate on Krishna as Nirguna, and for them, ye tamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajami aham. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, those who, according to their surrender, I reciprocate. So if their understanding of Nirguna, which is a Vedic statement, they'll only understand the quality-less Brahman. So Nirguna for them is that. Nirakar is another word. Akar means form. Nirakar means material form. No material form. Now, they don't use no material form, they say formless. So their intelligence is actually deluded because they are envious of Krishna. They cannot imagine that Krishna has all the qualities, all the forms. They cannot understand. And they become dried up, and when they become dried up, they take to devotional service and they read Bhagavatam. There are many Mayavadis who speak very eloquently on Bhagavatam, but their goal is to merge into the Brahman. Because there is no juice in what they do, they start reading Krishna Katha and they get this some ananda, some feeling of happiness. Because ultimately for them, Krishna is a form which is derived from Sattva Guna. So when we hear about Sattva Guna activities of the Lord, one day we will merge into the Lord, and the Lord also merges into Brahman, and nobody exists.
You've sung. And we downloaded both the songs. Any YouTube.
Huh? Somebody wants to say something. Anyhow. So Nirguna and Nirakar are generally terms which is very popular among Mayavadis. The Arya Samajas, for example, they don't accept any Vedas. They only accept Vedas, but they don't accept any form of the Lord. They don't make temple. The temple is just a big hall, that's all. So unless we come in contact with a pure devotee like Narada Muni, who came to even Prahlad Maharaj when he was in the womb of his mother, and later on he had all the strength, spiritual strength, Chit Bala, to withstand all of the atrocities which his father Hiranyakasipu did to him. Just imagine, a big wok, boiling oil, and you are put inside the boiling oil. We cannot even imagine how he did it. Nothing happened to him. Why? Because he was remembering Narayan. Narayan is beyond the gunas, therefore Prahlad Maharaj also was beyond the gunas. Therefore, the heat of this oil did not impact him. And similarly, they tried to throw him from a top of a cliff. Nothing happened. Because he was always remembering Krishna, always. And then they got an elephant and they wanted to crush his head under the elephant's feet. But the elephant could not do that. So they did many things, many atrocities. We cannot even imagine. If our parents give one slap, we become all upset about it. And nowadays, the child abuse, this is so popular, at least in the West, even in India also. If a child is being beaten up, it is very unkind, and they become traumatic and whatnot. I mean, we must have received so much beating from our parents when we did some nonsense. That's the way to train. If they don't hear common sense statements, then you have to give a couple of slaps, then you will be all right. But people have to have that compassion. Nowadays, the parents are themselves are abusers, and they are abusing the children, and they land themselves in prison or who knows what. The parents get separated, and then they have the children is taken away by the mother, and this and that. So many things are happening. So one can see that Prahlad Maharaj has gone through such a degree of abuse. If you put it in the normal modern term, nobody can imagine. And when he was killed in front of Prahlad, can you imagine your belly is being torn with nails and the intestines are going on top of Narsinghadev like a garland. And the son is seeing these things. He was not like traumatized. And he understood this is the Lord's pastime. This is the Lord's activities. Whatever he decides, he is going to do it. And then he was killed like that. And his wife, Kayadu, that is amazing, another woman, amazing woman. She could see the husband abusing the child. And when the husband told to Prahlad to drink poison, she felt sad that why are you giving poison to a child? No, I want you to give the poison to the child. And she could not refuse because Hiranyakashipu will do anything. He was a crazy character. And she had to give the poison to his own son, but nothing happened. That is the meaning of experiencing Krishna's protection in all conditions. It's quite an amazing pastime of the Lord, where Prahlad had to go through so much traumatic experience as per the modern language. And they keep on complaining. If one slap you give, the child specialist will come and start giving you a big lecture on that. We must have received so many slaps with our parents. And therefore we are normal in that sense. If something happens very intensely, we are not Prahlads, we can get traumatized. That can happen. Because the parents are not pure devotees and the children are also not pure devotees. They're doing all sort of crazy things. Parents, children, everybody. So they are not exemplary enough. There's Kayadu. She never divorced her husband, in spite of the fact the husband was. Nowadays there will be 10 times you will get divorced. And she never divorced. And she was so much dependent on her own, on the mercy of Narada and the Lord himself. That's why she got a son like him. Her mother, the son takes to the mother. Therefore, the mother must be a pure devotee. Otherwise, how can she tolerate all these things? So it's very unusual. Therefore, it is mentioned here, the Mayavadi philosophers accept absolute truth as Nirguna or Nirakar. The word Nirguna refers to one who possesses no material quality. The Lord, being full of spiritual qualities, gave up his anger and spoke to Prahlad. So this is a special feature why we should hear Harikatha, why we should hear Bhagavatam. Otherwise, you will have to hear something in this world. If you open the YouTube, there is every news is full of problems. Iran, Iraq, Assad, this, Syria, and Bangladesh next to our India and the Pakistan. There is not one incident which will make us very enlivened. Not one news. Everything is full of anxiety. And we feel very full of anxiety ourselves by hearing such so-called, not Harikatha, the perverted form of Harikatha. Because here everybody wants to be Hari. They cannot solve any problem. So therefore, we have to develop a taste for hearing Harikatha. Sooner the better. Then we will hear all these qualities of great personalities, great devotees, how they go through so many hardships. before they see Krishna, before they attain Krishna consciousness, pure Krishna consciousness. So it's not a cheap stuff. Prahlad had to go through so much to see Narsingadev. We are not going through anything. And we want the highest level. How is it possible? But that is possible by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That highest level is, what is that? Prema Pumarto Mahan. Krishna Prem. By which even Krishna becomes controlled. So that is what, that facility is there for us in this age of Kali. Kalo doshanije rajan hasti ekon mahan gunat kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangam param praje. The Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. As I said, you open the YouTube, you'll only see faults here, faults there, faults everywhere. There's practically, you lose your hope of existence. Birth kirtanadeva krishnasya. But it has, what is that? Kalok doshanija rasan asti eko mahan guna. It has one great quality, that simply by kirtana eva krishnasya mukta sangam parambrija, you can go beyond birth and death to become reinstated in the devotional service of the Lord. Just like a hand, when it is cut off, it is useless. It is a piece of meat and bone. Nothing you can do about it. But if the hand is connected to the body, that is the mukti of the hand. And it can be engaged in so many services. You can play mridanga, you can play dance, you can show mudras, this and that, make garlands, cook for Krishna, make deity dress for Krishna. All these things are done by hand only. And then you can clap and you can chant and dance. All done by hands and feet. So our senses are meant to be satisfied, the satisfaction of Krishna. And this is the only way. From external level, it will go into the internal level when it touches the Atma. When you are speaking from the Atma platform, transcendental plane, all these services which you're doing, you will start seeing Krishna. Just like the South Indian Brahmin. He saw Krishna because even though his guru ordered him to read Bhagavad Gita, he was illiterate. And he read Bhagavad Gita every day just to fulfill the order of his guru. And he had this vision of Krishna driving the chariot of Arjuna. And when he saw that, he could see how great Krishna is. That he is ready to go to that level of a Tonga diver, the driver of a chariot. And tears of love would flow on his. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw this, he said, "You are a perfect student of Bhagavad Gita." And then he embraced him. Just imagine, if you are embraced by the Lord himself. And it is mentioned here, but the previous verse, only when the Lord whom he chooses, only by the grace of the Supreme Lord can one understand him. Nayam atma pravachanena labhyo na medaya na bahuna shrutena. One cannot understand the Supreme Lord simply by studying the Vedas or offering prayers. Only by the grace of the Lord. So our goal is to attract the grace of the Lord. Then when the Lord reveals, he chooses that person to whom he will reveal. Ultimately, that is the only thing. And that's why we are doing all our activities to attain the grace of the Lord, so that at the time of death, when we are leaving the body, Ante Narayana Smriti. Just like Ajamil did. He was calling the name of Narayan. He never thought of Krishna or anything like that. He was just interested in his son. And just because he was chanting the name of Narayan all the time, and Yamadutas could not take him to the hell, for which they thought he was the fittest candidate to be punished heavily. But Vishnudutas came and they had a beautiful discussion and he was saved. And then he realized his mistake. Oh, I gave up my parents, my family members, and my children, everybody, just to enjoy with this prostitute woman. And when he finally, the Yamadutas are telling the good qualities of our Ajamil before he met the prostitute. So many good qualities he had. He went to the forest to collect, under the instruction of his father, to collect some fruits and flowers and tulsi and things like that, and some wood for performing Homa. He did not go on his own like the nowadays independent kids. They leave the home and we want to experience life and this and that. No, he went there, but he saw this prostitute hugging and kissing each other. He was bewildered. Now you see this tendency is so strong in America, especially. People kiss anywhere and everywhere, holding hands, mini skirts, and they wear the jean pant which shows their curves everywhere. I mean, they don't even wear the sari anymore. At least we as devotees, we should wear sari. Prabhupada wanted that. And during Prabhupada's time, all ladies in our movement were wearing saris. Nobody was wearing jean pant. It's almost a rare situation. I never seen as a new devotee in jean pant for men or women. Everybody was wearing dhoti, kurta, things like that. But nowadays, due to so many external situations, people are continuing to wear this jeans. And jeans are, what is jeans? It's a Shudra dress. It's meant to work in the factory. And nowadays, toned jeans on top of that. That is the big fashion. And on the where the thighs are there, it will get toned. And when they see the side, people see the thighs, they'll become more agitated sexually. To show one's own body and for other people who are seeing that, both will be agitated. And that's how rape and all these things takes place. So we should follow what Prabhupada has given, the Vedic culture, cook nice things, not just buy pizza from outside or anything. You want to make pizza, take the trouble to make a pizza. It's actually more troublesome and more expensive than beautiful sabjis. Today we made about 3-4 varieties of sabji because we have so much vegetables in the garden. 3-4 varieties of sabjis. Bitter sabji, baigan barta. What is it called? We grilled the eggplants, big fat eggplant, and with beautiful smoke flavor that came along with it. And then we made a tomato beans salad, steam it up and put some olive oil. So many nice things. And nice sweets. Every day we are eating like this, offering to the Lord. And it's for the Lord's pleasure, it is take all the trouble which is we take to make it. I mean, practically nobody's house, people make so many things also nowadays. They just want to go to the restaurant, Govindas, this, that. सब लोग कामचोर हो जाते हैं. They don't take the trouble to cook for the Lord. So we have to remember how Mother Yashoda cooked so many things for Krishna's pleasure and try to do such a similar service following in their footsteps. We cannot become Mother Yashoda under any time, but we can follow her footsteps and take the trouble to do something nice and pleasurable for Krishna. So this is what this verse is making the point, that one must do something for the Lord's pleasure. Any questions or comments at this point before we go for one more verse? Anybody? Haribol. Everybody's entered into Mauna stage, looks like. Samadhi.
No, Prabhuji, we don't have any question. Thank you. Yeah, it was on mute, so yes.
Okay. What about Geeta? She has always some questions. And Chitra Gidwani also. Partha
Hare
also.
Krishna Prabhuji. I thought I'll ask
Yeah.
in the end, but you want me to ask? No, you brought the topic of the ant, right? So I was wondering that what should an ant do to become a human form, take the human form?
Well, it will get naturally evolved. After the ant, next form will come, then she will become a little bit bigger animal. And then gradually they go. There are 8,400,000 species of life.
So there is it's a predetermined. Their stages are predetermined.
Yes. They are not doing. They don't have reactions of their karma. They are just what is it called? Arranged in such a way, they go by instincts. The ants doesn't perform sinful activities.
Right.
I
So
think
we've already moved that, gone past that stages, right, Prabhuji?
Exactly. Fortunately, but we should not go back to that stage again.
Yeah. Right.
That is the human form of life, because we can also degrade if you do some sinful activity of meat eating, intoxication, gambling. Then we'll go back to that some stage. And there was a beautiful picture that came recently. The birds are very busy eating the ants. But when the bird dies, the ants, they eat up everything of the bird. Instant karma, When they are alive, they eat the ants, but when they are dead, the ants eat them up. I
Wow.
think I said,
Yeah.
I
I've
think
never
I
thought of
said
that.
that.
Yeah.
If you see all these ants and cockroaches, when they die, all the ants, they come and they feast on their body.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But then they have to be provided food. So, I mean, it's not wrong that the birds are eating the ants,
No, nothing is wrong, but you don't want to be in that situation where you eat a dead bird.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they're eating. In America, there is what is it called? They kill all these turkeys, They have a Thanksgiving Day. They're thanking God by killing all the millions of turkeys. And they have, chicken, this, that, all these birds they eat.
So even Muslims do that, Prabhuji?
Yeah, everybody does that because everybody is sinful in this age of Kali.
Yeah. Thank you,
Any other
Prabhuji.
question?
Hare Krishna.
Any other questions, comment? Surinder Bhandari ji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I don't have any question and all. Everything is very good. Your lecture, pravachan is really very thrilling and very guided. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I will just read text 52. You can follow me. Sri Bhagavan Vacha
Shri Bhagavan
Bhagwan Vacha
Prarada
Parlar
Bhadra
Patra
Bhadram Te Rito
So
Aham Te
Ahamte
aham te
Surottama
Rottama
Varam
Varam
Krishnishva Bhimataham
Vranishwa
Kamo Puro
Kamapuro
Asmi
Asmi
Aham Rinam
Aham
Sri Bhagavan Vacha
Bhagwan Uvacha
Radha Bhadra Bhadram Te
Prahlada Bhadra Bhadram Te
Rito Aham Te Surottama
Rito Aham Te Surottama
Varam Vrishni Swabhimat Matam
Varam Vrishni Swadimatam
Kama Puro Asmi Aham Rinam.
Kamapuro Aham
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Prahlad, most gentle one, best of the family of the Asuras, all good fortune unto you. I am very much pleased with you. It is my pastime to fulfill the desires of all living entities. And therefore, you may ask from me any benediction that you desire to be fulfilled. Beautiful words. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Bhakta Vatsala, the Supreme Personality who is very much affectionate to his devotees. It is not very extraordinary that the Lord offered his devotee all benedictions. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, in effect, I fulfill all the desires of everyone. Since you are my devotee, whatever you want for yourself will naturally be given. But if you pray for anyone else, that prayer also will be fulfilled. Thus, if you approach the Supreme Lord or his devotee, or if you are blessed by a devotee,
It to be too much.
that
It's not the lesson. You don't need to.
automatically
He
achieve
writes just
the
scribble.
benediction of the Supreme Lord. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that if one pleases the Vaishnava, spiritual master, all of one's desires will be fulfilled. See, one thing we have to know that we are born with desires. Everyone, living entity means with desires. Some people want to make themselves desireless by performing tapasya, this and that. They take sannyas, they don't want to get married and tangled with women, this and that. It's okay. For normal people, they have to perform because they know these are all very entangling things. It will make us forget our constitutional position as a servant of Krishna, and we'll have to maintain this by struggling in this world, especially in this world. If you're a householder, you've got to have a job, like all of you have come to America, get a job with this and that. This is quite natural. But now we are already in this situation. What should we do to make our life free from struggle? That idea of free from struggle comes when one takes to Krishna consciousness. Actually, Krishna is the maintainer. And he promises, Satatam, what is that verse? One who constantly thinks of me, I provide.
Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti varvakam.
Correct. Thank you so much, Partha. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. And then there's a Yogakshema Mahamyam. I provide what you have, I provide what you lack, and I provide and I fulfill your desires. So Krishna is already doing that. In the Bhagavad Gita, he promises that. Yogakshema Mahamyam. So he maintains the whole universe anyhow. The trees are getting their water, the animals are getting their food, birds are getting their worms, and the worms are getting their food by eating of the bird. Like that, it is going on and on and on and on. He maintains, jiva, jivaska jivana. One living entity depends on other living entity. The laws of nature. So when in these laws of nature, naturally, Krishna fulfills the desires of his pure devotees also. And therefore here, Nrsimhadev proposes to Prahlad, ask any desire you have. Now, if not for yourself, for others also, I'll fulfill that. But Prahlad, later on in the verses, we can see it. He said, I did not come to do business with you. If at all you want to fulfill, please bestow your blessings on my father. And Nrsimhadev says, not only your father, but 14 to 21 generations of the past and future will be liberated. And his grandson, Bali Maharaj, also was a great devotee because he was connected to Prahlad. So this is the Lord's mercy. The Lord came as Vamanadev. He came mainly to fulfill the desires of the mother of Devatas. And he told before that to Aditya, I think, said, don't tell this to anyone. I will come as your son and I will become a brahmachari and you'll get everything what you want. So in this way, Vamanadev gave everything to the demigods, but not spiritual desires. Because they wanted their planet, their home, their situation back. And Bali Maharaj, who gave everything, Sarvatma Snapane Bali, he surrendered everything. And therefore, he became the doorkeeper of Bali Maharaj. Shukracharya was not happy. None of them were happy, but he got a benediction which the demigods did not get. So why? Because Bali Maharaj happened to be the grandson of Prahlad. Therefore, the Lord came again to protect the descendants of Prahlad Maharaj. So therefore, you can see what it means to take shelter of the Lord. Everybody from top to bottom gets benefit. My own parents, when I left home, I said, I'm going now. When you get older, I will take care of you. But I did not make any arrangements. I did not make any money, nothing. We were leading a brahmachari life. We were preaching in America, here, there. In America, we stayed for 7 years and we didn't make any one penny there. We were busy traveling and doing our cooking classes, this and that. But I almost forgot about this promise which I gave it to my parents. But when I came back to India, that was all arranged by Krishna. Suddenly, my parents came and stayed with us in Mayapur. Both of them, mother and father, left their bodies in Mayapur. By taking Charanamrit, by chanting Hare Krishna, they both left. I mean, I could not believe it. Wow, they are so fortunate. When we were taking the body of my mother to the cremation place, 6 sannyasis were chanting the Nam Kirtan in front of us. I mean, I don't know if I will ever get such a situation, but my mother got. And the father also touched the feet of Venkat, what is it? Venkatachalapati. And he touched the feet, touched the foot and feet to the head. So they became very fortunate. And I did not make any endeavor. Though, of course, they got initiation. I told them, at least let me do one thing, that you both get properly initiated. And I took them to Jagannath Puri and they were initiated by Prabhupada's very dear god brother, very elevated Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj. And they were disciples. But my mother was following, my father was easygoing. He didn't worry about anything. But suddenly he came to Mayapur and he stayed with us. Where we told today is Ekadasi, there'll be no grain. Oh, how is it possible to live without rice and dal? He said, don't worry, everything is done. And then when he had boiled potatoes with ghee on top of it and some makana, fried makana, and some raita, and the kheer made out of buckwheat kheer. So he said, why? If it is like this, I'll follow the Ekadasi. Because he never followed Ekadasi his whole life. And coming from Brahmana family and not following Ekadasi, because people are so busy working. Ekadasi is the last thing in anybody's mind. But for a devotee, Ekadasi is the days where one can do some extra bhajan, kirtan, and not be absorbed in the body so much. So these are all the Lord is Bhaktavatsala and he wants to fulfill. Actually, he is fulfilling everybody's desire. Even the demon's desire he fulfills. But in case of devotees, he is always looking for a chance, an opportunity to fulfill my devotee's desire. But the devotees are desireless. Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulena krishna anushilam bhakti uttama. They are performing uttama bhakti. They have no desires. Their desire is to only see that Krishna is happy and pleased. That's all. That's all. When Nanda Baba was taken by Varuna, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong. And then later on, Krishna went down and took Nanda Baba and brought him up. And soon the elders of Braj Vasis, they were telling, why there's something unusual about your son. He is just like any other kid, but his powers are so extraordinary. He must be God. Then Nanda Baba said, I thought you are all intelligent elders. But what sort of God is he? He is crying for food, he's crying for milk. All day he is crying for this, crying for that, and stealing. Is this the way God performs his daily activities? So then the elders, they pleaded to Nanda Baba, can you please tell him to take us to Vaikuntha? So Krishna understood the desires of the Brajavasi. So he said, okay, I will take you. And he took them to Brahmajyoti, then went to Vaikunta. And the Vaikunta, they saw all this Narayan being worshipped and in such opulence. Because they were cowherd men, they did not see any cowherd pastimes there. Nobody is going for cowherding there. And they thought, wow, this is too boring here. No cowherding, no cowherd to take care of cow, this and that. And then after making a whole, going through heavenly planets, through Brahmajyoti and through Vaikunta, they again told Krishna, please take us back to Braj, because we have something to do for you. So the Brajavasis, they were not happy of going to Vaikunta also. They were happy to go back to Braj, where they can daily serve the cows and go for cow herding. This and that, so many pastimes. They have so many duties in Braj, because they are all householders. They have to make milk and butter and ghee and so many other things to be sold in the market. I mean, there was so much milk was there, but still they go to the market to sell yogurt. It's an amazing thing. You know, Braj is overflowing with opulence, but still they have something to do. Braj devotees they are like that. They have so many things to do from morning till evening. Now the Gaur Purnima will come, then you will design a dress, what dress to be put, select the cloth, select the trims, this and that, so many things. And then prepare some sweets in before and make some nice feast for the Lord. You know, make some nice garlands, special garlands, because Gaur Purnima is coming. So like that, devotees plan their days, every day, how to be engaged in Krishna's service. And this is what our life should be. We have nothing else to do except planning to how to keep Krishna happy. Then you see, all needs will be taken care of, because all your desires will be the desires to please Krishna, and Krishna takes it upon himself to fulfill the desires of his devotees. That's why it's called Bhakta Vatsala. So here he's asking Prahlad, ask anything. Prahlad has no desire. I fulfill the desires of everyone. Since you are my devotee, whatever you want for yourself will naturally be given. But if you pray for anyone else, that prayer also will be fulfilled. And that's what Prahlad did. He asked for the liberation of his father. So this is Prahlad. He was selfless. He did not ask for anything, because he didn't want to do a business. He didn't do all these things to get some benediction. Any one of us would be thinking, oh, well, please take us to Vaikunta. So Prahlad was a Mahajan, one of the 12 Mahajans, fixed up in pleasing Krishna. Didn't ask anything for oneself. So therefore, Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Shane Vas Janame Janame Hoi Ei Abhinay. Na Danam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janvani Janvanishware Bhavatar Bhakti Rahetu Kitvai. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in the Guru Puja, we says, Janme Janme Prabhu Se, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashe. Life after life, let me become a servant of my Lord. So this is the devotee. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if I have to suffer by taking the body of a worm or a bug, please put me in the house of a Lord so that I can hear your glories. This is what, if I have to suffer due to my past sinful activity, let me suffer. I mean, devotees don't have past or present sinful reactions. Everything was absorbed simply in they come to Namabha stage. All sinful reactions are finished. They are free from the influence of three modes. But even if there is something due to which we have to suffer, let it be. But keep it in our devotee's house. Keep us in the house. So if there are any questions or comments at this stage, please.
So, Prabhuji, you mentioned that your parents were fortunate, right? But actually,
Yeah,
I've heard that any sannyasi, anybody born in a family, the whole family benefits. Isn't that
exactly.
true?
Exactly. They all get better. Provided the sannyasi is surrendered devotee of the Lord and is engaged in the Lord's service, there's no problem. There are Mayavadi sannyasis also there. They will get some benefit, but not the benefit of a pure devotee.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes, Partha, you had some question, comments?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all grace to Sri Prabhupada. So such a nice, nice class. Reflecting your classes are so much enjoyable, so much with so much reflections and your knowledge and your realizations make them so fulfilling and nectarian. And the verses are two verses are also so nice. Supreme Personality of Godhead coming and talking about fulfilling the desires of all the living entities, not only the devotees. Yes, it is correct. But I have one question regarding that. So, I mean, somebody, a pauper, a drunkard, who doesn't put any effort to do anything. Because of his karma, he's in such a wretched situation, and he's also not using his intelligence or human body to do anything out of it in that situation. So he desires to get a mansion. So what will the Lord do here?
Well, if you surrendered, first of all, if he is a pure devotee, he will not get into such horrible condition. A pure devotee doesn't generally get entangled in sinful activities, because Krishna gives them intelligence, and he's also in the association of other devotees. So that situation will not come to a devotee. A non-devotee is suffering; he will suffer his own karma.
Yeah.
Krishna, Krishna is not involved in a non-devotee's life. He is very silent in a non-devotee's life. Paramatma is silent. He just fulfills the desires of the non-devotee by giving him material intelligence. Whereas for a devotee, he gives spiritual intelligence. Any other questions?
Prabhuji, please correct me. I heard that Prahlad's son was a demon.
Prahlad was not a demon. He was born in a... Huh?
Prahlad's son was a demon.
Yeah, they are all Asura families. They are all Asura families.
I see.
See, Prahlad comes from an Asura dynasty. And there was many very famous demons were also born in that dynasty. But one of them was Bali Maharaj, who was also a very powerful demon. And he took over the whole heavenly planets.
But he was the grandson of Prahlad. But I heard that the Prahlad's son was a demon, and the grandson was the Bali Maharaj.
Yeah. Prahlad's son was also, I don't know exactly the story of that, but there is something like in his family also the demon appeared. Because they are Asura families, Asura families, the genes will go through them, DNAs. But even the Asuras, if they get the mercy of a pure devotee, they can become great devotees. And it happened to both Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj got the Narada Muni's blessings, and Bali Maharaj got the direct association of Vamandev.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, Prabhuji, what about Prahlad Maharaj's mother? Because she also must have heard in the womb when Prahlad Maharaj, when he got the sermons from Narad Muni. So even the mother would have benefited.
Yeah, but mother being in that body, she was more concerned about her husband. She was more concerned about the husband coming back from his tapasya. So she did not put a strong attention to the instructions of Narada Muni. She was only concerned about that his husband will come back. But Prahlad got the benefit.
Yeah, but Prahlad Maharaj being a Mahajan, she must have benefited a lot also by that.
Naturally. 21 generations of the past and future, everybody gets benediction. All the parents. Naturally.
Thank you, Maharaj. Not the siblings? Not siblings?
No, I'd never heard of a sibling of Prahlad Maharaj.
No, otherwise, as a principle of 21 generations, only parents get benefited, right?
Yeah, parents. The children, naturally. To what degree, to how much 21 generations in the eyes of the Supreme Lord, they'll get all benedictions.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Chitra Gidwani, any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No questions.
Jai.
I was listening to others' questions and yeah, so got to hear very nice answers from you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Garima Bansal. You have any
Hare Krishna,
questions?
Prabhuji. No, I don't have any question. I'm listening, trying to understand things. So it's a very detailed analysis of Bhagavad Gita. So I'm a new person. I'm just listening to everybody and try to grasp everything. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Do you have lectures of Prabhupada or Radha Govinda Maharaj? If you go onto YouTube, if you search Radha Govinda Maharaj lectures,
Okay.
and they are most spoken in Hindi. If your mother tongue is Hindi, you will love his
Yes,
class.
my mother. Yeah, Prabhuji, मैं बोल सकती हूँ हिंदी. Yeah, बिल्कुल.
हाँ, तो इतना जबरदस्त classes होता है, मैं तो रोज सुनता हूँ.
Okay, Prabhuji,
I
thank
listen to
you.
every day.
Yeah.
And then Prabhupada's classes are there. You can download that also, and you can hear it in English also. Prabhupada's classes are mostly in English. Beautiful
Okay.
classes. You know, keep yourself in the spiritual fire, in the fire of spiritual existence, by hearing Harikatha of these great personalities.
Yeah. Okay, absolutely. Bilkul, Prabhuji. Thank you for your advice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Without spending extra money, you can get the best deal.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Jai. Manoj ji, Manoj Agarwal, any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. No, Prabhuji. I'm good. Thank you, Prabhu. Nice class.
Very good. Okay, we'll do a little bhajan. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Everybody.
Jaya Madhav.
Madhav.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya
Jaya Radha Madhav.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Gopi
Vallabha
Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Varachari.
Jamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Varachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Madhava
Kunja Bihari.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, bolo.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Jaya Shodanandana Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Yasodanandana, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Radhika Ramana Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Rama Hare Hare.
Jai Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev, Gauritai Radharaman Giriraj Giri Govardhan ki jai, Sachidanandan Gaur Hari ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Vyasadev ki jai ho, Sukadev Goswami Prabhu ki jai ho, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Purport ki jai ho, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai ho, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
His Grace Vanchakalpatarivasya Kripa Sindhu Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव ने की जय. His Grace Ram Shraddha Prabhu ji ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much Prabhu ji for this wonderful
Thank you,
class.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Dandavat pranam.
Dandat Pranam.